Make marketing work. We're talking today about driving website traffic. It's all about content. And everybody hears about content. That's what Susan's going to talk to us today about. Next slide, please. Again, SCORE is a nationwide organization. We're a resource partner with the Small Business Administration. Our whole reason for being, our mission is simply to help small businesses. Whether you're just thinking about starting a small business, whether you've started one and need some help to get going, whether you're already in business and need some help on a specific aspect of your business, that's what we're here for. We're a nationwide organization of volunteers. So our services are free for the most part. Some chapters might charge a small amount for a seminar or a webinar. We don't, our chapter doesn't. But for the most part, our services are free. We're across the nation, and we have over 10,000 mentors that we can call upon for different skill sets. So if you work with someone in the Central Jersey SCORE chapter, for instance, and we don't have the skill that you're looking for, we'll go find someone and bring that person into our mentoring with you. We serve Middlesex, Somerton, and Hunterdon counties. That's the official service area. But as we're going more and more virtual because of COVID and how things have changed, we're really mentoring across wherever. So the lines are not that tight anymore as they used to be when we were only mentoring in person. And that's housekeeping. So I'm so happy to welcome Susan Wilcox back. She does several webinars for us. She's a very popular speaker for our chapter. She's going to talk about making your marketing work. Susan is a marketing development expert. She works with websites and marketing in general. She's president of her own small business, eDynamic Marketing, and her contact information is here. Susan, thank you again for working so nicely with SCORE and offering your services to us and our clients.
Anytime, you know it. I enjoy it being here very much. So today, we're going to talk about how to drive traffic to your website. And, you know, you've got a great website. You've spent a lot of time and effort making it everything that it needs to be. But now what? What do you do with it? That's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to talk about blogs, social media, email, and website updates. Just has methods of keeping your traffic coming into your website. So before I get started, I want to just back up and take a look at marketing in general, just because I want to put everything in perspective for you. So marketing, if you've ever taken a marketing class, the first chapter of every marketing book, it talks about the 4 P's of marketing: product, pricing, placement, and promotion. Some textbooks go up to 7. These are the 4 primary ones. So your product is very simple. It's what you do, how you solve your customers' problems. It has to be a good product, and it has to have a reason for being. Pricing. There's 2 things you need to know about pricing. You have to be financially sound. If you're not making money with the products that you're selling, stop doing everything else. Go talk to a SCORE mentor about your financials and how to turn that around. You don't want to build on a loss. It's just going to get exponentially bigger. And the other thing that you need to do is make sure that whatever price you're charging, your customers are willing to accept. Placement is probably the easiest. It's just where you do your business. Are you retail? Are you website? Are you online? Are you a service and you go out to your customer? And then last is promotion. And I break that into 3 sections: branding, traditional advertising, and digital advertising. Branding is your promise, your logo, your colors, your voice, everything that you say about your brand. Traditional advertising is TV, radio, newspaper, print, outdoor, basically everything that you did before the internet, right? Before you could do everything on a desktop. And then there's digital advertising, which is website, social, blog, and email. And most of us focus there. So I want to take another couple minutes and look at just digital advertising and how that works. To put together a digital marketing plan, you need a strategy, you need website, email, social, and content. Your strategy is your product, your audience, who your target audience is, what your goals are, how much you plan to spend, and what you're putting forward as far as your branding. Your website includes many pieces. It needs a good, clean design. It has to be mobile friendly. It has to have a what we call a clear call to action, or your CTA. That's your call to action. Your graphics have to be good and they have to load quickly. You don't want something that loads too slow. People get frustrated with that. Your copy has to be strong. You have to clearly communicate how you help your customer and how they take an action. And then last is SEO, that's search engine optimization. And that's basically how people find you on the internet. If they do a search, do you pop up? Email marketing is the next most important part of digital marketing. It does two things for you. This is all about your customer. It helps you generate new leads and it helps you maintain the customers you already have. It helps you take those new leads and nurture them so that they become ongoing customers. Social media is simple. It's all of the channels: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. You know the list. It's changing constantly, but any of the social media content is going to help you drive awareness. And then last, and what we're going to focus on today, is your content. What do you say? How do you blog? What kind of pictures do you use? What's your call to action? This is all part of your content marketing plan. All of your digital marketing relies on content. Without content, you can't keep the other elements up to date. You don't have anything to post. You don't have anything to say in your emails, and your website doesn't get refreshed on a regular basis. So you need content to make everything work. It really is the fuel that keeps everything going. So if your content is driving your website, your email, your social, your SEO, everything gets driven by content marketing. And it's important to take it just a second and figure out, well, how are all of these tools working? Your website has two jobs to do. It needs to close the sale and it needs to capture leads. If you're not getting sales through your website, or I use the word sales, but it might be, what your sale might be, contact me for a free estimate or a 15-minute consultation, things like that. So you're closing the sale or getting the customer to the next step. And if the customer is not ready to take the next step, then you're capturing a lead. They've been on your website. It takes a lot of effort to get people to your website. Make sure you capture them when they're there. And we do that by providing good information, additional information that they would have to sign up with their email address to get that information. But at least now you have a way to contact them. Email is about your customer, and it's customer retention, and it's nurturing that customer to a final sale. Social media, I'll also say, when I talk to businesses, established businesses, most of them say that 90% of their customers come from repeat and referral business. That's where we're getting customers. So email takes care of those customers. Social media helps you fill the pipeline and bring in the rest of the 10%. It's attracting new customers and it's creating an awareness for your brand. And then your SEO, your search engine optimization, is really opportunistic. It's about being found in the moment. And I'll use a flower shop for an example on this. If you own a flower shop and you're in Edison, New Jersey, and grandma lives in Edison, New Jersey, but Joey, her grandson, lives in California. Well, Joey doesn't know the name of your flower shop or where to find you. But what he's going to do is go to Google and he's going to say flower shop, Metuchen, New Jersey, or Edison, New Jersey. And that's when you want to pop up. As a small business, you don't have the bandwidth to market nationwide when your audience is within Edison. Social media helps you find people who may be outside of the normal scope of your marketing efforts. So what is content marketing? Simply put, it's your website, it's what you say in your emails, it's what you say on social media. It's really how you represent yourself everywhere to your customer. It's how you talk to your customer. It's how you explain what you do and how it helps, how you can make their life better if they do business with you. There's a saying out there that says content is king. That's because it's like having money in your pocket. Good content will help you attract new customers. It's going to help you drive traffic to your website, which we're talking about today. And seriously, you could have spent thousands of dollars in ad placements and trying to drive people. Content can get you there get people to your site for free. It does take time and energy, but it helps you build free traffic to your site. And that's why it's so valuable. It's like having money in your pocket. So how does it work? Simply, it's getting the right message to the right people at the right time. You know, people are out there looking for answers. They want to know more. If I just bought a new Weber charcoal grill and I'm not sure how to keep the coals hot for a long time for a big, a roast that I'm doing, I'm out searching the internet. How do I cook a roast on a Weber grill? You know, how do you keep charcoal hot? These are the questions that I'm asking. And you know you've got the right person because they're already looking for you. And it's at the right time. It's when they have the problem that they're searching for you. So if you can be out there with those answers and be giving the customers what they need when they need it, you're going to start to bring traffic to your website. And here's how it works. So you want to attract new customers. You do that with blog posts, with new website content, with videos, with articles, with social media. However you do it, you're putting new information out there that's designed to help your customer. When they get it, once they find you, you use that information to gather more information about them. Maybe what you want to do is collect their email address, and you're going to do that by offering webinars. You're going to do that by maybe offering up a white paper that explains something. Maybe you're a financial planner and 10 things to make sure you have budgeted correctly for retirement might be a good paper. Somebody might be looking for, am I covered for retirement? Do I have all the right information in place? And free ebooks, anything that helps the customer understand how to solve the problem they're facing in the moment is going to be good information, and they're going to be willing to give you their email address for it. Once you have their email address, or maybe you collect a phone number, whatever it is, that's your invitation to stay in touch with them. Send emails and start to build a relationship. Say, hey, I can help you not only with your retirement planning, but maybe you're still doing education planning for kids, or you could sell your other services through them. And the more that you stay in front of them, the more you become the go-to person, the person with the answers and the solutions to what they need. That's when they build trust in you. That's when you close the sale. So we're using it it's a funnel. You attract customers, you gain their attention, you get to know them a little better, you get the contact information, you close the sale. That's how content marketing works. But just like everything else in life, sorry, you probably don't want to hear these words, but planning is everything. You can't just jump in and start putting stuff out ad hoc. It's not going to make sense to your customer. And if you confuse them, you're going to lose them. So what do we have to do? We have to put together some business goals. Before you start content marketing, you really need an effective website. If the goal of all of the content you're putting out is to drive traffic to your website, then you better have a good website. And we're going to spend a few minutes talking about that. And then you need your content plan, what you're going to say and where you're going to say it. So let's get started with that. What do business goals look like? What can you achieve through content marketing? First and foremost, you're creating interest, you're generating awareness, you're giving people information that they need. They may not know about you, but they've got a problem and they find you. They go, oh, these guys know what they're talking about. Look, they've put together this whole article that tells me everything that I need to know. I'm going to call them, or I'm going to go visit their website so I can check them out some more and see if they have more solutions for me. It gives you a chance to promote your brand. Every time you put out a blog or a social media post, you become the go-to source. You're building your credibility. They know the types of problems that you solve and why they should come to you, what they should be doing, and how you can help them. It's going to drive traffic to your website for sure, because as soon as they read the article, they're going to click through. Chances are good when they read the article, if the article is housed on your website, if you've got a blog page, they're going to be going directly to your website just to read. And once they're there, they'll click through. It gives them a chance to focus on, if I do that, how to do a roast on a Weber barbecue, I'm giving them very focused information, and it gives the reader a chance to focus on your brand as the solution. So you want to be able to do that as often as you can. And most importantly, it's generating leads. If you request their email in order to read an article or to get an ebook, then they're going to give you emails and phone numbers. And I'll caution you, one thing you want to do here is some information just needs to be free. You have to put the blog out there that says, here's how to cook a roast. But if you want my essential guide with everything that you need to know about cooking on a Weber, then you need to give me your email. So, you use some content just to get them interested in your brand, to prove your credibility, show them how you can help. You've got to give them a sample. And then you can collect their email if they're interested and they want to know more. Right there, though, you've qualified your lead. They want to know more and want to learn more. These become people you want to reach out to. So generating leads is definitely going to be one of the benefits that you get out of content marketing, as well as website traffic and awareness. It does so much for your brand. This is, it's a place you want to spend some time and effort to build your brand. Let's talk for a second, though, before we go further, about a website. Your website needs to be effective in a lot of areas. You have to have a good design, something that people look at, and as soon as they see it, they trust it. They're like, okay, these guys are professional. They know what they're doing. It's not all organized. It's organized well, and I understand what they're offering. It has to work well on a mobile phone. Google now is ranking you in their search responses based first on how well it looks on a mobile phone, and then how well it looks on a desktop. So mobile is more important now. We've got more and more people using mobile as their first choice to search the internet. It's got to be simple to navigate. You've got to be able to click around and find the things you need quickly and easily. And by that, I mean, make it simple. Don't give them, I don't want to see a menu bar with 25 items because I'm confused. I don't know where the thing that I want is. I want to start really simple and give them the 2 or 3 things I want them to see. And then if they want more, then there are pull down menus, and you can have a sitemap at the bottom of the page, things like that. But easy to navigate means simple to navigate, just a few choices. Your page has to be set up for SEO, for search engine optimization. That means doing some of the background work. It means telling Google what these pages are about. I'm not going to get too much into SEO, but it is important that your page is set up properly. If you need help, I'd be happy with SEO, or need to understand it a little better, I'd be happy to spend some time with you. It needs to communicate clearly. What do you do? This particular photographer is focused on family. Kids grow up fast. Capture the moment now and enjoy it for a lifetime. She's about capturing who your family is right now. And she's good, don't let time slip away. You want to do this now so that you have it forever. And it has a clear call to action. It tells you that what you need to do. Here, schedule a call. And here's some more information if you need. If you're not ready to make the appointment with me, how do I create the best family photos? And in that blog that she's posted, she talks about things like what outfits to wear and snacks to bring and how to just make the whole day go smoothly. What's important to recognize is that most website visits are less than 15 seconds. That's not long. People make an almost instantaneous decision about whether they trust you and whether this product is what you were looking for. For example, if I had clicked on this page, but I really wanted a wedding photographer, oh yeah, not me. She does families. I'm moving on. You know instantly and you click off. So you want to make sure that in those 15 seconds, you communicate to your target audience exactly who you are and what you do. And in those first 15 seconds, you've got to hook the reader. And the goal is now to get them to read the rest of the page. And we'll talk about the rest of the page. But the top of the page, the first thing they see, that's what they're going to make their decision on. So you have to make sure they know who you are, how you make their life better. What do you do? What problem are you going to solve? And how do they take an action? What do they do in order to learn more? It should be a strong call to action, and there should only be one. You want to, I know you might have many things that you offer, but you can't offer every single thing right up front. It overwhelms the customer and they get confused. Free 15-minute consultation. I'll explain the rest of what I can do when I get you on the phone. Just keep it simple and make it clear. Everything on the page needs to read clearly. I recommend you show it to somebody who knows nothing about your business and say, what do you think of this website? What do you do? Why would you use me? Because if you're confusing them in those first few seconds, you've lost them. They've clicked off and they're gone already, and they're working their way down the list that they found on the Google search. So first 15 seconds, most important, but once you've got them hooked, you want to make sure your website has some key things. It has a good header that hooks them. It has a clear call to action. If they're not ready to take that action, you have some sort of a lead generator. In this case, this financial planner does a free forecasting spreadsheet. It's got a value proposition. It tells customers why they should be involved with you. In this case, this woman's helping businesses be profitable. So plan to be profitable. Knowing your numbers puts you in control of your business. It's going to give you a steady cash flow, confident decision making, and help you make a clear plan of action. It only took me a couple of seconds to understand how she's going to help me with my business. A plan is a very simple 1, 2, 3 step through of, hey, call me to get a free consultation. I'll give you an estimate, and then your problems will be solved. Very simple. I know there's a lot of things that might go into what you do and how you sell your customer, but up front, we've got to make it very simple so we don't overwhelm them. We'll get into the details once we've hooked them. And the whole idea of the website is just to get them to call you and take that first action. So only give them what they need up front. You want some credibility. A lot of people use testimonials, maybe a video introduction, introducing yourself, saying, hi, I'm Susan, and this is what I do. You've got to tell them the cost. And by cost, I mean, what's it going to cost them if they don't do business with you? And this means, I always compare this to a recipe. If you put too much salt in a recipe, it's horrible, right? Nobody would want to eat it. But most recipes benefit from just a little touch of salt, right? So you want to put a little touch of the cost. The cost is, hey, if you're not profitable with your business, you're going out of business. Don't go on any longer. Make sure you're meeting your profit goals. This can be better. So it's just giving them it's almost fear of missing out, FOMO, right? Don't let them slip away. Make sure you make sure they understand why they need you. And then the last thing I put on a page is what I call the junk drawer. And basically that's everything in the footer. It's all the other information that somebody might want to access quickly, account information, contact information, those kinds of things. It's stuff you want to have handy on the front page, but it doesn't need to be at the top of the page. That's a basic checklist of what should be on your homepage. And before we're going to go into content now, but before we go any further, I want you to understand, if your website's not right, you could drive all the traffic to it in the world, but it's not going to work because you're going to lose them when they get to the site. So before you get started, make sure the website's good. Again, SCORE has counselors. I'm happy to do a quick website review with you. If you've got a site and you're wondering if it's set up, I'd be happy to help. So now you've got a good site. Let's take it to the next thing. How does content drive traffic for you? So I just put into a Google search engine, how do you take a good family photo? And these are the results that came up. It's how to shoot casual portraits at home, 10 tips for creating great family portraits, that kind of information. But here's what happened. The customer had a question. How do I create a good family photo? What did they do? They searched online, right? We go to Google and we search everything. And I say Google, even though there's Bing and AOL and several others, but Google represents over 80% of all the searches in the United States. So it's really about Google. But they've done their online search. They're looking for answers. And if your content can give them the answer, you can show them how you help, they're going to be clicking onto your websites. The whole trick is helping your customers find the information that they need. The best content that you can put out there is the content that answers their questions. I know it probably seems very repetitive to you when you talk to a new client or a new customer. They all ask the same questions. And I know personally, I can end a day and say, okay, I felt like a recorder today. I talked to 10 people and all 10 of them asked me the same questions. But if those are the questions, that's what you want to use for your content. It all starts with your customer. The content can help you find and keep those customers. And you've seen a sales funnel, at the top, you want to generate awareness and then build interest, help them make the decision and close the sale. Content flows throughout that entire process. We build awareness with social media and blogs. We create more interest with the website. Once we've got them reading the website, they might click on a lead generator. That's going to help them make the decision. We're going to give them more information. And then once we have their contact information, we're going to follow up with emails and sales calls. If you've got good content, it's going to flow throughout everything that you do. So what do you say? Where do we start? Almost everything you say, we're going to follow the Pareto principle here, right? The 80-20 rule. 80% of what you say needs to be about your customer. If you're on social media, if you're writing a blog, even on your website, a website that starts with, hi, we've won all these awards. I'm going to pick on real estate agents. I hope we don't have any in the crowd today, but they'll be like, highest ranking. I've sold the most houses. I'm platinum level. I've got all these awards, bestseller for last. That's all about them and not about the customer. What does the customer want? Customer wants to sell their house fast for the most amount of money. That's what you got to say. So make sure that you're addressing the customer's needs and address those first. Get them hooked. Say, hey, here's how I can help you. And then tell them, then you can use the 20% of your time to promote yourself and tell them how. And good content helps you communicate what your brand is all about. It communicates your brand story. Every brand should have a one-liner, a simple 2 to 3 sentence description of what you do and how you do it. And you should repeat it over and over and over again. And as an example, I'll use Geico. Geico, right? Give me 15 minutes and we'll save you 15%. Everybody knows it because they say it over and over. It's simple and clear. and they're telling you how they can help. They're going to save you money. That kind of communication is going to used repetitively. It's consistent and it's clear. That's going to grow your business. So as you start to think about what it is you're going to say and when you're going to say it, think about the user. What's the process they're going through? We call it user experience. Sometimes online you'll see it abbreviated as just UX, but user experience. It starts with the customer's needs. You know, what information do they need? Why are they looking to buy this? What's their purchase intent? Are they ready to do it now or down the road? You help the customer along by giving them blogs and social media and more product information. And then you make that information very accessible, that you post it to your site and you make sure that it's showing up in searches, that the information has some keywords in there so Google finds it and presents it when a customer searches. That's the flow that we're going through, and what the customer is experiencing as it goes through this process. So let's start with your target audience. Let's just say your target audience is a soccer mom, right? So, you know, drives a minivan, couple of kids, lives in the suburbs. This is your audience, right? You in order to know what her problem is, have to know who she is. So there she is. My problem is this. Does this lady look like she's got any problems? No, she's picture perfect, right? What do most soccer moms look like? Right there, right? It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and she doesn't know what's for dinner. She got kids all over. Homework hasn't been started. There's a full calendar of sports and activities. She's busy. Am I going to sell this lady life insurance right now? Absolutely not. She's just too busy. But can I reach her still? Yes, I can. What if, as a life insurance agency, I just said, share a chicken recipe, 3 simple chicken recipes you can make tonight, right? What have I done? I've got her to my website to read that blog. While she's there, she goes, oh, these guys sell life insurance. Hey, that's pretty interesting. Once you've got her hooked, you're going to be able to spend some time with her and get her to realize who you are. So what we want to do when we talk about our target audience is not only know who your audience is, but you have to understand them. So, okay, know who they are, age, demographics, geography, interests, but you also really want to know what their life is like and what's their pain point. Clearly, her pain point is that she's time impaired. So if you can help her save time, you can win her as a customer. So where do you get content ideas from? Where do you go? First and foremost, always the best. Think about the questions your customers are asking. Those are the things they're searching. They're punching in, 10 simple lunch ideas. That's what that soccer mom might need tomorrow is I need a new lunch, right? So, or 10 chicken dinner ideas. She's looking for things to solve her problem in the moment. And if you can help answer, that's great. Now, and I'm going to go back to the photographer. How do I take a good family portrait? Ready to do our annual family picture. How do I make it come out and look like everybody else's that I'm kind of envious of? Because last year my family looked like they just had a fight, right? And the kids' clothes were not matched and it just didn't represent well. So, she's looking to fix up that family photo. Help her get there. Give her the information she needs and then show her how you can help her through that process. Industry news. I'll go back to real estate agents. Real estate agents, in a way, have it easy because there's so much content out there. The 10 best school districts in the state of New Jersey, the 10 best places to live in retirement, best housing values in them. There's a lot of information that you can provide that just comes from an industry. If you're, let's just say you've just attended a conference, the annual, I have a client who works in the dental industry and there's 4 or 5 big conferences throughout the year. So the 5 new products that I found while I was at this dental conference, here's what's new and hot. That's a great piece of information. People always want to know what's coming. And then community, especially if you're retail, this works very well. What's going on in your local marketplace? Let's just say you own a pizza shop or an ice cream shop, something like that, and you're about foot traffic. Community events, good luck to the high school marching band at your competition this week. Well, there's about 150 kids in a marching band. You just read, 150 parents just liked your post because you're talking about their kids and you're thinking about their kids. You've made them important. They're going to like that. They're going to come to you. Good luck to the kids in the middle school play, things like that. Anytime you can be involved with something like, a 5K fundraiser or anything like that, that gives you content that you can use to help promote yourself. There's a lot of ideas out there. Just remember to be where your customer is. What questions are they asking? What's going on in their life? How are they looking to make things better? What are they doing day to day? What's going on in their family and their lives that you can help them with? All of those are going to give you good content ideas. With all types of content, you can write blogs, you can update your website. Blogs really help you demonstrate how you solve your customers' problems and how you can help them individually. Putting that information on your website keeps the customer informed. It builds your credibility. Lead generators, those ebooks, those white papers, those free webinars, all help you educate the customer. Email keeps you in front of your customer. It maintains your brand awareness. It helps you nurture new clients from being a prospective customer to a paying customer. Social media, again, helps with your pipeline awareness news. So you've got a lot of different tools that you can use to execute your content marketing plan. And really, you want a little bit of all of it. You don't want to focus just on one or two, because all of your customers are going to come to your website from different avenues. So you got to be prepared to reach them different ways. And each of these things kind of does something. It's great to have the blog, but then follow it up with the lead generator and follow the lead generator up with emails. That staying in front of them is going to help you build your business. It's going to help you be consistent, and consistency equals credibility. Oh yeah, I know those guys. They're all over the place. They do a lot. They start to remember you and remember what you're about. Let's take a look at what a blog might look like. A blog, you want to write a blog, and at the top, you want a really strong title, something that somebody's going to search. If we think back to the search results I did earlier, 10 tips to a great family photo always does well in Google. And then I'll use a travel agent here, 3 family-friendly vacations. How do you keep and then your intro paragraph kind of answers some of the questions. How do you keep everybody in your family happy during vacation? What family vacations work best? So point A might be camping, point B might be a Disney cruise, and point C might be the Grand Canyon. And then if you're interested in any of these, how do you take an action? Well, contact me and I'll help you make the plans. So you write your blog, you post it to your website, you make sure that the blog has a lot of SEO tactics in it. It's keyword rich, it's at least 250 words. Got to have a little bit of meat to it in order for Google to be able to fully comprehend what you do. And then you've got to label it too and set it up like that. H1 tags, and meta tags. You've got to tell Google what your blog is about. Make sure you're using your headlines and your subtitles wisely and that it's scannable. If that said, camping, Disney vacation, Grand Canyon, I'd be able to read the list really fast and say, ooh, that sounds like my family. I'm jumping in. Here's another example, and this is how, you can scan this. Get better social media results with a better website. What are your goals? How do you improve it? 5 easy steps. customers are searching, how do I use social media to get people to my website? Get better social media results with a better website. That's what they're looking for. I just set that up wrong. I'm sorry. So how come my social media isn't working? Well, what you need is a better website. This title gives you that hook. And all the subtitles are good for SEO. It helps Google understand what the article is about. And then if you can use those small chunks of information, each one of those subtitles can be a social media post, because you can take each point and then, point A, our travel agency example. So point A is camping, I said. Camping. So now you could put a camping post to Facebook. So that covers point A, and you've referred back to your blog. Now you can talk about your Disney cruise, point B, put that to social media and point back to your blog. And the same thing with the Grand Canyon, that's point C. Your blog now just created 3 to 5 Facebook posts, right? And then if you take those same posts and repeat it on Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever social media channels you're on, you've just created 20 posts off of one blog. That's a way that you can use one piece of content to generate a lot of awareness, and you're linking your social media to your website. So you're posting the blog to the website. It's important to constantly be putting new stuff on your website so that Google knows you're in business and you're doing things. But it's also important to drive traffic. So all of those social media posts are going to help you drive traffic back to that blog on your website. So I think that's it. I'll make sure I'm covering everything I want to cover there. Yeah, just blogs help you generate so much information. It gives you opportunity to do a lot of things on websites, on social media. You can even send it out to your email list. It's building credibility. It's helping you. And then if you take all of that information to social media, that content, it's helping you create awareness, drive traffic, improving your SEO. All of it helps you build. Different ideas that you can use for content. Anything about your product, new products or featured products, or did you know you could do this with a color laser printer, whatever features, maybe features they may not realize that they can use and they should be using. Vendors, hey, in my store, I'm now featuring, I don't know, Kate Spade pocketbooks are the new line that I'm carrying, or whatever it is. So any new product you're bringing in or a product you want to feature. Success stories, just took a new family photo. Look how great these came out. And, I can help you get your family photos to look like this. Product promotions. People love to see works in progress. Work with a woman who does stained art and stained glass art. And she takes pictures of a product all through the development, how she lays it down, how she designs it, how she picks the colors. People are interested. I mean, and how she walks her way through that creative process. If you can take them through that process with you, they're going to be more interested in your brand, and they're going to appreciate the value of your brand even more. Maybe industry leaders, upcoming events, Breakfast with Santa's coming up, those kinds of things. Top 3 ways we can help your lawn look greener. Answer the concerns of your customers. Answer any questions. Highlight a staff or team member. One of the best social media posts I've ever done for a client was I just said happy birthday to one of their favorite employees that everybody loved. That practically went viral for them. Anything behind the scenes, what's going on? Oh, we're building new stuff. We're about to launch a new product. Let me give you a sneak peek. And if you're out there building your product, had a hair salon, she used to take pictures when she was at the conference, say, hey, I'm out learning how to do more things for you in a better way. All of these create great content ideas. So, and all of that drives customers to your website. And a good website's great. Oops, sorry, I went the wrong way. A good website's great, but just because you build it doesn't mean they're going to come. It's your job to drive that traffic using your blog, social media, email. You've got to think about your customer first, solve their problems. You've got to help customers who are interested in you understand the value of your brand and nurture them so they become paying customers. And you have to stay in front of your existing customers. Make sure they don't forget who you are. That's what content marketing can do for you. You just need to be consistent, be helpful, be you. And I see, Jane, we got a few questions in Q&A.
Yes, we do. Can you, Amanda's.
I've got them open. Yep, I've got them open. So let me go through them. So Amanda, concrete examples of a lead generator. Amanda, you're a photographer, I think I remember. Yeah, how to take a great family photo. New ideas for newborn photographs. How to make a newborn photo shoot work better.
A lead maybe define a lead generator. A lead generator
is additional information, more in-depth information that you're going to give to the customer in order to get their email address. So, I said, somebody might answer a question on SEO on their website. How do I research keywords might be the name of their blog. Once they've read that, they're going to realize, ooh, there's a lot I don't know. So a lead generator would be a follow-up to that blog that says, here's the essential guide to everything you need to be about SEO. So the blog is maybe, 500 words, but the essential guide might be a 15-page ebook or something like that. It's more in-depth information that's going to help them and provide more answers.
But Connie, correct me if I'm wrong, you would ask them for something. Yeah. You would ask them for something in order to get that 15 page.
The goal of the lead generator is to gather either the client's email address or phone number so that you can reach out and follow up with them. Carol, an H1 tag is a SEO tool. It basically tells Google what the most important thing on a page or on a blog is. So usually it's your headline, of creative and unique family photos would be the H1 tag for the photography website I showed earlier. It's not something the customer sees. It's something you put behind the scenes on your website to tell Google what your page is about. Hope that helps. It's actually a really long answer, but that's it. And if I haven't answered it, Connie, feel free to call me and I'll walk you through it a little bit more. Saren, I hope I'm saying your name right. My business, I'm thinking to use it. Yeah, you don't have to use it personally. There's a lot there, Saren. I think that maybe it would be worth it for you to sit down with one of the counselors at SCORE to answer it, because it's, social media is such a big topic and you're asking a lot of questions. But again, I'd be happy to spend time with you. And I know that Jane can set you up with a SCORE counselor who can help you walk through all of these steps.
Yeah, if you go to centraljersey.score.org, find a mentor, we can hook you up with someone that can get you started on that.
Mm-hmm. Eric, good luck with your site. I don't see a particular question, but I'm glad that you're promoting it because I bet there's a lot of parents on here from New Jersey. So
he wants to know
what's your advice on getting New Jersey parents to join? Value is going to be important. You're going to have to promote that in other places, like on if you have to promote the group on your main page in order for it to people to know that it's there. When it comes to getting people, just you're going to have to be credible, have lots of posts, have people in there sharing information. The more information that you share on that group, the better off you're going to be. Not sure I'm answering your question, Eric. You're going to have the key is driving traffic. To get people to join, you just have to drive traffic to that group. So you're going to have to promote on your page. And then once they get to the group, give them a reason to be a part of it. Have lots of posts there with lots of information that they can do. The group sort of has to sell itself.
It seems to me that blogs, consistent blogs for getting people interested would be an excellent way to draw people to your website and then get them to join. It sounds like you have a lot of good information there.
Yeah. Jane, I'm going to let you answer Michelle's question. Will SCORE provide not-for-profit mentors?
Yes, we do. We do work with nonprofit organizations. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And Jane, Amanda's looking for your email address. If you could reach out to her.
Oh, my personal email? Okay, yeah, sure.
And then this is our last question. Oh, no, we got more. What kind of money does a person need to spend on SEO? Is it possible to do this without putting a ton of money in? There's two things that you can do to optimize your page. The first part of it is what we call on-page optimization, and that's free. That's things like setting up your meta tags, having clear headlines, H1 tags, things like that. Google on-page SEO first. That should help you. The rest of it, a paid, then you get into paid ads and stuff, and that really is the Wild West. It's hard for me to give you a solid answer on what that budget might look like. Because every brand is different and there's so many ways you can go. I will caution you, it can get expensive fast. You probably know already. Okay, I have a virtual assistant business I'm launching to help people understand my benefit. I wish our virtual assistant business, I wish we're in our last webinar. Actually, developing your message. Jane, you posted the last webinar we did back in October to the website, right?
Yes, we did.
I would go to the SCORE website and look up the webinar we did back in October on building your brand message. There's a lot of steps to that, but we went through that in the last webinar. After you've watched that webinar, if you want to reach out to me, feel free. I'm always happy to talk to people.
centraljersey.score.org for webinars and local recorded webinars.
What is the best way to get started with blogging? This is what I would do. I would write down a list of questions that your customer asks. And those are your first, 3 to 12 topics, however long your list is. I find it helpful if you can take your business and divide it into 3. So let's use a wedding photographer. A photographer, they might have newborns, they might have families, and they might have wedding photography, right? So now I've got 3 categories of information. Under each of those categories, I would list the 2 or 3 questions that are most asked. Let's just say you could get to 4 questions under each category. You've got 3 categories with 4 questions. That's 12 topics. You now have a year's worth of blogging topics if you do 1 a month. Write the blog. You want to be 250 would be the bare minimum. You want to target about 500 words for your blog and just lay down, as I said earlier, with good titles, good subtitles, keywords, answer the customer's question, put a call to action in the blog that brings them back to you. I think
I think we pretty much have it.
And it's
and
just 11 o'clock. So I think we timed that pretty well.
Yes, I just want to, I just wanted to remind everybody that Susan is giving another webinar tomorrow night, which will be Wednesday at 5 o'clock. On
that one I'm focusing
email marketing,
on
right?
Yeah, email, and it's actually it's the Woman Mentors Circle, right?
Right. The circle I'm writing of women mentors, but it's not just for women, so anybody can join that. I believe it's on our webinar on our website at Central Jersey .score.org.
There's the website, centraljersey.score.org. So you could see the
go
webinar
there, and
I
believe you can register there.
Yeah, you can sign up for tomorrow's webinar, and you can also look back at the one that I did for Central Jersey back in October. If anybody's got any questions about any of this, if you'd like me to check out your website and make sure it's solid before you get into content marketing, feel free to reach out to me at eDynamic Marketing. My phone number is here if you want to call. I'm happy to spend a few minutes with you. And just, thank you.
Yeah, and thank everyone. First of all, thank Susan. She gives an excellent presentation. It's so clear and so step by step, but we love it. Thank you so much. See us tomorrow night on the Circle of Women Mentors webinar. See Susan again. Thanks, Susan, and thank everybody for joining us. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Jane, just don't hang up just yet because I'm watching I'm looking at the chat. But just a bunch of people just posting. But I think a lot of thank yous, and everybody's very welcome. If I can help, or if Jane can help, make sure you reach out to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're good.
Okay. Have a great one.
Bye, everybody.